20 years of drum corps. The 70s were dominated by California corps, who won every year but 75. In the 80s, East challenged West as the cadets powered their way to 4 trophies. The 90s are history in the making, with a new star on the horizon. All the players of the past are still here, each hoping for a falling star. Well, these regionals demand a lot of hard work for the kids, but when we visited Nashville's Preview of Champions, we found the performers aren't the only people working on show day.
Everybody who's here, I'd like to just take a minute and welcome you here. This is just an informal session.
The judges and corps directors jump-started the day with coffee and breakfast.
Okay, guys. What I want to do first is let's critique yesterday a little bit.
Meanwhile, contest operations had a million details to recheck so that the show would go off without a hitch. On this day, corps members were the last to get going. The day heated up, and so did the work, as the stadium staff prepared for thousands of excited fans.
Well, we had to do the grounds, too. You know, we parked the buses and the trailers and we do 20 blocks square around the stadium.
And up, right over left, and down.
At the judges' critique, a corps' creative staff got a chance to explain what they intend to do with their show.
Maybe just a little bit something that you might consider as you view us. As I spoke to George the other day,
fans could actually enjoy the heat.
Fans and fans have the best time, too.
Contrabasses, same thing. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Do not play beyond what you produce with a good tone quality, please. Bob, to the end, brass air.
While the corps was thinking about tonight's show, the souvenir stands went up, so money will be there for future shows.
Thank you. I can help you.
Good evening, Blue Coats. This is Carson Fund, judging field visual in Nashville, Tennessee on the 28th.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Vanderbilt Stadium for the Preview of Champions Final Competition.
So our next corps, the 7-year-old star of Indiana, that's very young, be of championship caliber. And they got to the top by, in their words, preparing to win.
When we started the corps back in '85, our goals were to get the kids on and off the bus, and we've come a long way from that particular set of goals. We had 2 goals in '91. One was to challenge each performer beyond what even they think they can do, which is scary in itself. I mean, when you think about that, that asks each person to reach deep down inside themselves and find out just what they're made of, how far they can go, and to push themselves beyond. We always like to challenge people beyond what they think they can do. I mean, that's the quest for perfection or excellence or anything that you do in life. Most corps either prepare to win, okay, or have a very strong work ethic. And that was the type of corps that have won. For example, I really respect the California corps on how they prepare to win. Every year, they're always near the top because they prepare to such a high degree. I look at the cadets of Bergen County, and their work ethic of what they ask the members to do is just incredible. The kids' hearts have to be in the show. I mean, I look at what they do, not just Star of Indiana, but I'm talking to all the kids in the activity. They give up summer jobs. They give up. They don't get paid to do this. I mean, these kids are doing it for really the thrill of performance. I think what makes a magical performance for Star of Indiana is everyone in the organization for that one moment to know that they've done their best, they've went beyond what they can do. The kids win the championship. They work very, very hard. We've asked them to do some very impossible things. Every kid knows what his ability, you know, what his abilities are. And as he gets off the field, it's almost you have to look in the mirror and you question, did I do the very best I can? And to be successful, every kid will have to answer yes the night of championship.
All right, a strong drum line is part of what brought Star and our next corps, the remaining corps, the challenge, the Cavaliers to the finals. Percussion professor Jim Campbell of the University of Kentucky explains how he arranges drums for the Cavaliers.
Writing for field percussion is rather unique because there's so many performers on a single instrument. We have 9 snare drums, 5 multiple toms, which is our middle voice, and as many as 8 bass drums at once at various parts of the show. We treat writing for the marching percussion instruments like we do in a choir, where the snare drums are our soprano voice, the multi-toms are our mid voices, and the bass drums are our bass voices. In the front, off the field, are our pit instruments, our mallet instruments, which play the melodic accompaniment or play harmonic accompaniment, and as well as just adding accents with cymbals and gongs. The middle portion of the Cavaliers show this year is a combination of 2 works by Malcolm Arnold, Cornish dance and English dance. In writing this, I've tried to relate the different voices in the percussion to their parallel voices in the brass. And English dance in particular begins with the multi-toms basically playing what the middle horns do. And then the snare drums will play exactly what the sopranos play. Percussion has really significantly changed the face of the activity. Drum corps first started with 1 bass drum and 1 or 2 snare drums and some cymbals. And today we're using tuned percussion, concert instruments. We're borrowing from classical literature, jazz literature. We're borrowing instruments from world percussion, ethnic instruments, ethnic techniques. Percussion has revolutionized drum corps.
As DCI celebrates its 20th anniversary, we reminisce with a man uniquely qualified to comment on those years. He's an innovator, having led one of the premier drum corps for 25 years. But after tonight, Santa Clara's Gail Royer is retired.
There used to be certain things you had to do, as you know. Well, maybe you don't know, but you had to enter a certain place. You had to have certain things. You had to have a concert. You had to have a color presentation. You had to have a closer, and you had to exit on the 2 sides. And to stimulate the growth of the activity and let these wonderful, intelligent, gifted, talented designers and musicians give them something more to work with, we gradually relaxed those rules. There's room for apples and oranges and kumquats and bananas and whatever, you know, your own style. And that's a healthy thing that DCI's done too. It's made it tougher on the judging community because they have to equate how good a banana this is as to how good an orange that is. And that's tough for the judges, and it's tough for us to accept. sometimes, when we don't win.
Consistent innovators in search of excellence, Gail Royer and the Vanguard have been good for each other.
Being associated with that organization has been truly a wonderful experience for me personally, and I hope that I've been able to help contribute to their success, and by doing so, maybe helping the activity to move and to grow. But I really like to do something else, and whether it's in the activity or out, I don't know. I probably do some work for DCI if they want me to, and I guess they do. So I'm not sure what yet, but so it's not really necessarily goodbye. It's maybe just so long.
Gail Royer and his Vanguard, 25 years on the leading edge.